If you don't believe, you won't achieve. If you have doubts, you're not going to get there. If you don't believe in a being of higher power to connect you to God, and that God has all of the control, if you can't believe that there is no such thing as incurable, then you're not going to heal. If you only believe that medicine's going to heal you, then you probably aren't going to be coming to talk to me. Because as we talked earlier, most of the people that come to see me, they've been through the medicine isn't working, and there is no other alternative. They're either going to
Yeah.
die, stay sick, or they don't know what to do. And in their way of understanding, they couldn't believe in their own help and healing. I help motivate them back into a state where they can believe in themselves, have faith in God, whatever they call God, and trust in a being that's stronger than us who can connect us to God.
What do angels usually look like? Like these other
Most of the
beings.
big guys, the archangels, are enormous. They're 10 to 12 feet tall.
Everybody says these tall guys. They're
Yeah,
tall.
they're tall and they're big and they're muscular and they have a lot of armor on. Michael has, I mean, everybody knew Michael. You couldn't miss it was Michael, was the biggest angel in the room with a sword and shield. And yes, he's there, but sometimes he doesn't even carry that. And then the angel that was next to him wasn't quite as large, and I didn't know who he was. And he said, "You will learn a simple technique to heal yourself and share that with other people and figure out who I am sometime in the future." And I did. And then, of course, Jesus was about my height. He was a little bit smaller, but he had taken an
What's your
earthly
height? Like
life.
what is your height?
I'm 5'8".
Okay. Okay.
And
Wow. So Jesus was just like an average height guy. Like he was
yeah,
about five
average
seven,
height.
5'8".
So he wasn't
Interesting.
the Hercules that would have been Michael the Archangel, that kind of
Yeah.
size. He was a normal being because he had a life as a human being. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you get to see them as who they are.
Wow.
Now, you'll also find out who your guardian angel is. You see, there is no angel of death in reality. The angel of life that brings you here from heaven to earth is the same angel that will bring you back from earth back to heaven. And so there
Hmm.
is no true angel of death. He's just your escorting angel that takes you here. Your soul is safe coming to earth and safe going from earth back to heaven because you don't want
Hmm.
evil interference trying to mess up and snatch your soul and take you to wherever they go. The hell
Wow.
that they talk about is hell is here on earth when you bring negative energy here and harm other people. That's hell on earth. We don't want that. We don't want to destroy this planet. We want to bring heaven on earth. And that's to smell those angels, to see that
Hmm.
good stuff, and to be able to live life where people aren't harming one another, where our lives will live to 450, 600 years in
It can
length.
be that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're not harming one another, because evil has no say over us. See, for every negative emotion, there's a negative spirit or angel associated with it. So, anger, rage, resentment, fears, worries, doubts, sadness, hurt, and grief, they're actually different spirits, different angels that are associated with each of these things. And so, when you say, "Get out of here, you spirit of debt," you're gone because you have the
Yeah.
authority to do so over that being. So we teach people how to have authority over the negative angels, over the negative spirits, and how to manifest the good guys, to have them in your life. Like you were talking about changing professions. And how do you manifest it? I have a prayer, not only of protection, but a prayer of manifestation and a prayer of realignment so that your soul is in divine guidance so you can manifest money. And I talk about different ways to manifest the wealth and the health because wealth is no good without health, and health is
It's
no good
not.
if you don't have money to be able to pay the bills and stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to live on this world and how you going to manifest that and what to do about it. So I have different manifesting modes and I teach people how to do that during our Einstein time periods on Sunday afternoons. It's
Now,
usually we meet at 2, we go to 3:30. But for instance, if you're invited to this Sunday to do Einstein with me and my group, then I want you there a half an hour earlier at 1:30 Eastern time so that I can teach you all the nuances and the terminology, the different words you need to know, because otherwise it'll go over your head, you'll be lost, and you'll give up on it before you get anything done. I mean, what good is to create a miracle if you don't have the patience to wait to get to it? So sometimes in divine timing, you have to wait. You can't
Yeah.
get it now. You have to
Yeah.
wait because God says it's not in divine timing or in order.
It's a process.
Yeah. And you know that because when you're between tasks for God, you have to get prepared. Now we're in something called retrograde Mercury, Venus and Neptune, and Gemini in Uranus. Sudden, unexpected, weird things in a planet where communications sometimes are out of whack, and when communications in the form of computers may go offline. And
Hmm.
when this happens, things go wacky.
Yeah.
There's
Chaos.
fluid chaos, and you have to get prepared. Clean up your room, clean up your mind, clean up your heart, clean up your home, clean up your neighborhood, clean up your thoughts, because thoughts
Yeah.
are things, and you have to create with only the good thoughts and eliminate the bad
The
ones.
bad ones.
So I teach those kind of things. And if you can follow what I do, my clients have miraculous astonishments happening through
Now I
prayer.
have a question because you yeah, prayer you said, speaking with authority to get these things away from you, right? So is it better to pray in a commanding way, or is it better to pray in like the begging way that I know I'm a Baptist, and so they teach us to, sort
Well,
of
if
beg
you're
in prayer.
asking for protection and you're asking to do certain things, then you're needing God's help for that. You may need to have a contrite heart. In other words, come from a request from the bottom of your heart. But when you're demanding something it's not of God, when you're demanding to get rid of evil, it is your authority. And yes, you will come with authority and you will push the evil away because you have the authority
Mm-hmm.
to do so as a child of God. And
Right.
it depends on what you're doing. So, prayers of protection, it's one way. Prayers of financial abundance, health, and wealth, that's another way. And
Yeah.
divine alignment, you have to say with authority that you are realigning yourself and committing yourself to the Creator and to Jesus and to whoever else that we're talking to, that you're committing to God and your mission and purpose in life. That you have to do with a whole heart and with great authority and strength. And you can't be a wimp with some of these prayers. And people
Yeah.
have said the lights come out of my fingertips sometimes. I don't see them, but they said they see sparks. And that is
Yeah.
my authority to push negativity and evil away from people. And that's how
Yeah.
I start anything that I'm doing a private session with my clients and my member clients. And that as I start with that to push evil away from them, so I'm an empath and I can feel what's going on with you and then tell you where you need to work on things, what you need to do, and what triggered this entire illness or challenge that came about.
Right.
And so you need to master that reality, endure, persevere, and overcome it by a different way, either protection, manifestation, or realignment of your soul purpose with the Creator, who and whatever you call the Creator. I work with Jews and Christians and Buddhists and Hindus and Muslims. And like I was telling you, I have a black grandmother who was raised both Jewish and Christian. I have a Buddhist aunt, they're Chinese, and they have a different way of doing things. I dated a woman who was a Sufi Muslim, so she had a different way of doing things. But I work with people from all sorts of backgrounds and lives and lifestyles. And you have to understand that's why I took my one of my doctorates was on comparative religions. So I could learn how each person had their faith in the creator, what they called the
Yeah.
creator, and how they operated with it, because it was their operating manual on how they could learn it to protect, manifest, and realign. And when you do that, in everybody's faiths, there is some type of healing gifts and abilities. I mean, the reason I dated that lady that was a Sufi, she was originally from Afghanistan, her son had a healing gift. And here it was, I have this healing gift to help other people heal. It comes from God, not me. It comes through me to them, but it's God that does all the work. And so she had a near death experience. And so we were attracted on the fact that we recognized two souls that had similar experiences. We both died in car accidents. And so I've met
Wow.
other people who've died in car accidents and were put in the morgue. And as a result, you come back with gifts. Some are divine insight, some are healing, some have a combination, some have an ability to teach and motivate. And we each have different reasons for being, and we come back for specific reasons to help other people. But
And you can tap into this without dying as well, because you
yes,
had
you can.
these gifts,
Yeah,
but like
and
before, you died, you had these gifts and were seeing beings
they just
and
got
everything like
stronger
that.
with each near death experience. The second near death experience occurred when I was flying my airplane and I lost my consciousness. Thank goodness I was in the plane with a co pilot. She brought the plane down. She was my pilot trainer. I went to my medical examiner's office, said, "You're bleeding." They sent me to USC Medical Center. And that's when they found they had problems and I was bleeding internally. And that's where the doctor said, "You got to take our medicine or going to be dead." And I said, "No, if I take your medicine, I would die." And I decided to go seek alternatives instead because, as you asked me, how did I know that? There was this divine knowingness. No, don't take the medicine. Have faith that God is going to heal me. And I was to do alternatives with Agenus von der Plant's raw food diet, Gerson Institute, that was the coffee enema and vegetable juices, and Hulda Clark's cure for all diseases type anti-parasitic diet. So I learned all those things because I'd gone to each of those different clinics. And when I came back after 3 months, the doctors at USC Medical Center said, "We can't find anything wrong with you. We don't know what's
You
wrong.
healed
We can't
yourself.
figure out how that happened." And so that's the kind of things people will have experiences they're going to call miracles. Now, does everybody experience that? No. If you don't believe, you won't achieve. If you have doubts, you're not going to get there. If you don't believe in a being of higher power to connect you to God and that God has all of the control, if you can't believe that there is no such thing as incurable, then you're not going to heal. If you only believe that medicine's going to heal you, then you probably aren't going to be coming to talk to me. Because as we talked earlier, most of the people that come to see me, they've been through the medicine isn't working, and there is no other alternative. They're either going to
Yeah.
die, stay sick, or they don't know what to do. And in their way of understanding, they couldn't believe in their own help and healing. I help motivate them back into a state where they can believe in themselves, have faith in God, whatever they call God, and trust in a being that's stronger than us who can connect us to God.
Right.
And
That's beautiful.
I guess my experiences, I'm not a starseed child. I'm a child of light that comes, I know I come
What's
from
the
heaven.
difference between a star seed and a light worker? Do you know the difference
Yeah,
between the two?
I am not a star seed. Star seeds come from other worlds. They have
Okay.
lived lives on other worlds. They come here now to master this reality and to help humanity raise up. They've lived
Okay.
already mastered their reality on a different world. I am a light worker that comes from heaven, goes back to heaven. Heaven is my home. Earth is not my home, and neither is any other planet. Um, and we're here to help the beings, the 70% of this world, raise up their consciousness and awareness to the fourth and fifth dimension. So we're here. We volunteered. Whether you're a starseed child or a light worker, you come here voluntarily, knowing you're not here for ego or greed. You can live a good
Yeah.
life, but you're not here to make a fortune. You are here to help other people realize that even though they were born on this world and they come back to this world, they too can master this reality and they just need help. And I'm here to help those folks. Actually, we're all here. You're a star seed
Yeah.
child. You came to this life. You knew you were different, but you also know that you came from another world. I came
And
from
another
heaven.
world.
I know that heaven's my
So is
home.
heaven so is I guess I'm trying to understand the difference between heaven and the other world.
Each of
Like,
us has different sets of lives to live for different purposes. And you have a series of lives, hundreds of them, thousands of them, And on this world, the tougher the life, the tougher the reality, the more times you'll come back and reincarnate. The fewer times you will reincarnate is because you're usually not a star seed, but you are a light worker. You come in back and forth. You're not an angel, but you
Yeah.
act sometimes like angels. You have divine gifts, divine insight, and you're connected to the angels because you're divinely connected to them and through them. Whereas the star seed is aware that life is much simpler on other worlds. You can live much longer lives. They are like the masters that come to this world to teach us that you can master this reality. And in our own ways, star seeds and light workers work together from different perspectives, all with the same goal in mind to raise
To
up the
lift. Yeah.
energy to help humans who are constantly born and reincarnated here, live, die, and reborn here, to grow up and become part of the galactic federation of planets, so to speak, so that we can help other worlds and become part of that reality. We're in the toughest neighborhood. I mean, we are in the ghetto of planets. With, it's in the
That's what
worst
they say.
neighborhood, in the worst part of the universe. And the reason is done on purpose. We are here to endure, persevere, overcome, and master this reality. Evil's job to destroy us. Our job not to get destroyed. And as soon as you can raise your frequency to the fourth and fifth dimension, or just even to the fourth dimension, evil got to get away from you because they're going to run because you know the truth. So you don't have to have a near death experience to get to the fourth and fifth dimension. You just have to raise your DMT levels from your pineal gland to connect better to God. Aliens have an enlarged pineal gland, like a third brain, so they can connect to God constantly. We have to learn a way to do that through nature, through meditation, through Einstein, to push out negative energy from our bodies. These are actually ancient techniques that have been refound. They were always there, they got lost. And
They
now
did.
it's time to re-put them back into action. It's like the missing books of the Bible. You got to put
Yeah.
them back into action. They were taken out so people could control us. Now,
Yeah.
time is we don't want to be controlled anymore. God is our master creator, the being that created us, and we're here to make sure that we can fulfill our reasons for being. Now, 70% of the population can't wake up. They can't see God or believe in
You said
God,
70% can't.
can't wake up.
So only 20%
No,
of the
30%,
30% can?
30% of the world can wake up. But of the
Okay.
30%, 28% still are going to have to struggle. And 2% at any given moment in time are going to wake up. And if you wake up, not if, when you wake up, it's like rapture. You're going to wake up and move into a different reality. Don't get caught up in the game of life. You're either in the parade of life or watching from the grandstands of life. But our job as light workers or starseed children is to back away from that and to
Yeah.
see reality from a third party. Don't get involved with the game. You get involved in the game too deeply, you'll get lost and you'll get stuck here. You don't want to do that. You know, you didn't
When
come.
you say stuck here, right?
Yeah,
Like, do you mean like, cause like if being a light worker, you said that light workers come from heaven and back to earth, come from heaven back to earth. So, they're, as light workers, they're doing the same thing. Like, what's the difference between someone
because we
else?
know we know we have a mission and purpose in life. We know who we are when we arrive, usually early in our lives. Our near death experiences are
Okay.
here to remind us of who we are. The ones who are
Okay.
star seeds, they say the same thing. They know they don't fit here, but they came from somewhere else. They always feel comfortable looking up at the stars, not on this planet. The average person
Okay.
who can't connect to God, his soul was born here, dies here, and keeps being reincarnated here.
So it
And
doesn't even go. It doesn't even go to heaven.
well, it
Their
does.
soul.
You can go to heaven. You can go to heaven. But if you're buried here, you're going to keep coming back here. My biggest thing to teach people, don't get buried here.
What do you mean by that?
When you die, ancients used to be burnt. They used to, what's it called? Cremate.
Yeah.
Cremate your earthly body so that your soul will return to heaven and so will your earthly body return to heaven. If you're buried in the ground, there's a greater preponderance of evidence that says you will reincarnate back here, whether you want to come here or not. Now, if you choose to come here, it's not because of karma. You choose to come here out of love for a fellow human being, a soul.
So that's almost like with light workers. Like
Right.
you're choosing to come back
Come here.
here versus like
Gotta do it.
automatically
Right. You
like
got to
versus
come here. Oh, it's bad
automatically.
karma. Um, a lot of people say, oh, you got karma. You got to pay off the karmic debt. No, you really don't. You really are choosing to come here through love. But a lot of people fall into this belief that there's karma. Evil knows there's no karma. They can do anything to us. They're not going to pay any debt. They're not going
Yeah.
anywhere. There is no heaven for them. This is it. It's
Yeah.
it's here on earth.
So they're
So
stuck on earth. They're
they're
the
stuck on
evil,
earth.
like they're stuck here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the difference between the light worker, the star seed, and somebody who's just going to keep recycling. Now, you want to come back out of love to complete a mission, like you asked about my parents. I knew my
Yeah.
parents were my children in the past, and I knew my parents were also my parents in the past. So I've been the parent, they've been the parent. We've taken turns.
Yeah.
I've been with them multiple times over in multiple lifetimes. And
Yeah.
I know that. So during my near death experiences, I came back and told my parents all about our previous lives together. How, yeah, how I was a French priest out of Quebec, New France. And I couldn't take being a priest anymore because the woman I loved was a nun and she died. And I decided to take a sabbatical and became a fur trapper. And I went and worked for the King of France, trapping and locating things. I would mark things out for New France. And I put little things there. This is now the new King of France's property, blah, blah. St. Louis above that area, up in what is the upper Mississippi. They found these things centuries later, these things that were buried in the ground, saying they were claimed for the King of France. So I was on one of these trips. I got caught in Lake Superior in a major storm, got dumped out of my boat, and I ended up on the shore. And these Native American people from the Mandan and the Fox tribes adopted me, also related to the Winnebagos. And they had lost a son, and I had lost my parents. That's why I became a priest. And they adopted me, and I lived a life with them. They were my parents in this reality. Also, in another reality in the 1700s, the next life, they were my children. And I was a doctor. And I didn't get back in time, and my kids fell in the water. And it was a cold spring water. They developed pneumonia. And here it was. I was a doctor, couldn't save my own children's lives. So here in this life, I got to help my mom and dad when they got older, and I was there for them when they died and crossed over.
Now,
So
were your parents light workers as well, or
um, I can't say that my dad probably knows he knew he had previous lifetimes. He knew that this wasn't his home. I can't say my dad was a light worker as much as my mom was. My dad probably was a starseed child that knew that they came from other worlds. My sister and brothers both had memories of previous lifetimes, but they never mentioned anything about coming from other worlds. So I don't think my brothers and sisters came from other worlds. They came from this reality. They were definitely rooted in a lifetime of remembering they were Romans or Greeks, and they had vivid memories of those things. Me, I have vivid memories of different lifetimes, but I also know that I come and go from heaven.
so it almost sounds like a promotion. It sounds like with it sounds like humans is like that are stuck in this reality. They're more earthbound than humans, and they're like on one tier. And then you have light workers who like maybe got a promotion. It's like now and it's heaven and you can travel and all of that. And then it sounds like it's angels that's like above it all, and it's like kind of helping people and responsible for that. And then it's God and like that's what it kind of sounds like. And then
There
the
is a
star
hierarchy.
seeds,
There
yeah,
is a
yeah,
hierarchy, and just like the star seeds and the light workers already know that this is not home. They
yeah,
know that from the time they're children. They even have
yeah,
different eyes. For instance, my eyes will be blue one day if I'm happy and green the next day if I'm sad. And I
Yeah.
have different things about me that I can't explain that are not genetic changes. They just don't exist in most people. Different
Yeah.
sizes of my fingers and my hands, different things for my feet, awarenesses of different things that the average person is not aware of. And you go, well, how is it
Yeah.
that you function with that? It's just what it is. And then people who are star seeds have one different way that you can see them. They actually don't look like a normal human. You can actually see them. They look kind of alien sometimes. And then there's this group called Nordics. These star
I heard of
seeds,
that.
tall, thin, blonde, but they almost look like not
Lord of the
Aboriginal.
Rings.
Yeah, they definitely look different. And then there's some people that look more mammalian, animal like, mammals. And they, you could say they definitely have something different about their faces, the way they look. Did they come here? Did they grow here? Or the beings like myself who come from other worlds, we usually have really sometimes tough lives, but we're also tremendously aware of things that most people are not. The near death
Yeah.
experience just keeps opening it up even more. The thing is, you
Yeah.
don't need a near death experience to know this isn't home. You
Yeah.
do know that something's different and it's time, like you're getting a tap on the shoulder, it's time to wake up and
Time to
bring heaven to
evolve.
earth. And
Yeah.
you know you're different. You
Yeah.
know that there's something different about you. Well, living in
Yeah.
Philadelphia is one thing, but the fact that you came to this world and you lived and were born in the United States of America, some of the most highly evolved beings from other worlds or star seeds or children of the light, the light workers, come to get to be blessed to live and work in this world, in this
Yeah.
reality. We're here to fight because it's the last bastion of good versus evil on the planet. And we
Yeah.
have to fight for it. This
Yeah.
world is not free. Just like we talk about freedom is not free. Well, this world is not free. You got to do some work. You're not here
Yeah.
to just do nothing. Yes, it's nice to make money, but what are you going to do with that money when you make it? How are you going to help
Yeah.
other people who can't wake
Yeah.
up? And you're going
Yeah.
to have to do it in a certain way that makes a difference not only for you and your earthly family, but your neighbors and your country and what we call all the brothers and sisters on this planet. We're actually all
Yeah.
brothers and sisters.
We are. We
We're
are.
just different shades of gray. And
Right.
so I like that. I didn't like the show, 50 Shades of Grey, but the fact is, we're all 50 shades of different things. We all have a different, separate things. Some of our souls came from different worlds, and you can see it with Asian people. Their Asian souls came from a different world, and
Yeah.
they were put here. Many of our people from South America, the Aboriginal people, were probably born here. I mean, this is the world they came from. And
Yeah.
then we've been genetically modified for centuries, eons,
Yeah.
from different beings
Yeah.
from other worlds, whether you call them Anunnaki, the lizard people, the
Anunnaki.
dragons, all these beings came here. We've been genetically modified over the eons, probably 22 to 25 times, and either been interfered with by three or four different alien beings and helped by three or four different kinds of alien beings. The biggest
Yeah.
thing is you got to know the truth. And this is
That's
what
the
this world is about now. The truth is coming out. We're not who we think we are. Religion is mostly man made, but everybody is born into a particular religion to teach them something. Now, are you
yeah.
going to mix the spiritual part of that religion and take it wholeheartedly? Or are you going to be a diehard and it can only fit in this box? You have to know that we've been lied to over eons and centuries by the beings in control. Who are these beings in control? Well, you've heard of blue bloods. The reason their blood was blue, they were copper based and they were genetically modified from alien races because they wanted to make sure that their alien blood descendants that mixed with humanity were the people in control. So there's about 300 families worldwide that are true blue bloods. We're
Like Illuminati. Is that like
the
the
Illuminati was
bloodlines?
started by these beings,
Yeah.
but we're part of a, iron-based body, red-blooded human beings that were genetically modified. And the other ones are reptilian, lizard-like, or other type beings that were genetically modified. These people were put into power because they were closely related to the beings who ran the planet. And they were called blue bloods for a reason. And that's why they keep close tabs on their bloodlines so they know who's a friend and who's an enemy. Our job, those people, this is all they got. Earth's all they got.
Yeah.
So they live and die on this reality. And for us, we come back and forth to this reality. This is not
Yeah.
home. This is just our school. And we must master it before we get wiped out again. And I don't feel like
Right.
wiping out the planet again. We want to make
Yeah. And
sure that we
starting
bring,
all over.
yeah, we've done this before. Even the angels are kind of getting tired of it. You know?
Yeah.
So if you want to know more, my book is called There Are No Lines in Heaven. You want to go to my
Yes,
website,
please.
therearenolinsinheaven.com.
Yes. And
And
is that where people can also get the link for your every other
yes, Einstellen.
Sunday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll go in there and then it'll say appointment or comment, and you'll say, I want to get the link. Please, I want to learn how to do Einstellen. That'll be 1:30 Eastern time. From 1:30 to 2 is when I train you. And then at 2 o'clock to 3:30, we are now with a group of people who already know how to do Einstellen from all over the world. And we're doing Einstellen. It's always for free. Einstellen's always for free. And the reason my sessions are 90 minutes long is because the session's actually an hour long, but the half hour that I have to teach you Einstein is included and added onto it. That part's free. The rest is by
Mm-hmm.
donation. And so I always make sure that people know how to do Einstein. They say, Dr. Robinson, I can't even afford a donation for you, but I want to learn how to do this. Sure. I'm there every other Sunday to teach you how to do Einstein. And
Okay.
you can contact me through WhatsApp. You can call me or text me 760-917-2625. That's 760-917-2625. But you'll
For
find that
sure.
same number listed on my website. You'll find it actually in my book. My book is available on Amazon, either in an ebook. I have an audiobook coming out later, and I have a big paperback. And people say, why is it so expensive? Because it was made to be a textbook for teaching for doctors and their intern students. So it was two books in one. Chapter
Wow.
5 is all the different healing modalities and how to use them. Chapters 1 through 4 about the near death experience, what happened with my parents. And chapter 6 is all about a compilation of the entire book and synthesized down to 19 pages. So
Wow.
you have an option. So people say, well, I can't afford this and I can't. Hey, look, you got to do something from your heart. You want to help and healing from God, you got to at least put something out there. And nobody said everybody who's a spiritual counselor has to be poor. Nobody said anything about that. So,
Yeah.
but I'm reasonable about it. I ask for a specific donation. You'll read about that on the internet through the website, and everything's by donation. Some people who are seniors, I know they can't afford it. And so they make arrangements with me in other ways and shapes and forms. But you must always come from your heart. If you don't come
Always.
from your heart, God is not going to come from his heart. You got to
Right.
show that this is of value. If you don't take this information and feel it's of value to you, then God's going to say, hey, why should I bother? You've
Right.
got to take it. You go to any other doctor, you're going to have to pay out of your pocket. But in this case, you're getting the divine wisdom and information that comes with it. Remember, it's not me doing the healing.
Yeah.
Big guy upstairs.
God. Well, man, well, thank you so much. I feel like I got like so much information and help and just wisdom from you, and I'll definitely have all the information in the description in the interview. And I know I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your time. This is Vision Rebirth on all social platforms. Make sure you subscribe. My name is E. You can find me at _real E on all social platforms. Where can they find you on social platforms, Doctor?
I'll be on Facebook, and you can see me on the web, on the internet as well. and you'll see the cover of my book. You won't see my face on Facebook. It's a white book with black letters and symbols of all the different religious faiths on earth in there, and it'll say there are no lines in heaven.
And is
And
it under Dr. Scott Robinson, your Facebook?
yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much again. Thank you guys for listening. This is Vision Rebirth, and cut.